What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Human League, and we're going back to the 1981 album Dare. I'm enjoying the early stages of this tandem journey with the first Heaven 17 album, and the next track on Dare is The Sound of the Crowd. It's often described as a cacophony, a din, a sort of indistinguishable noise that arises from innumerable little conversations or shouts and the clamors, and indeed, oftentimes a crowd is depicted as being unpredictable, if not unruly. Sometimes a crowd leads into a mob. Sometimes a crowd can just be a group of people observing something as a spectacle and enjoying their time doing so. But ultimately, a crowd, I think, in some context, it has darker connotations, or at least the possibility to turn into something more unpleasant. So I wonder what sounds of the crowd we may be referring to. Let us find out. This is The Sound of the Crowd by the Human League on the 1981 album Dare.
Put your hand in a parting wave, pass around. Make a shroud pull and come through a backwash brave. Find the copies in a carbon mount, pass around. Stroke a pocket with the print of a laughing sound. Get around town where the people look good, where the music is loud.
That big synth sounds like a Gary Newman synth. I like the way that sort of condensed down and cleaned up.
The shades from a pencil pier pass around. A cold in an eyelid brushed with beer. The lines on a compact guide pass around. A hat with alignment worn inside. Get it right now, get it right now. Stay in time with the rhythm and rhyme. Get around town where the people look good, where the music is loud. Get around town.
People look good when the music is loud.
Add your voice to the sound of the crowd.
Add your voice to the sound of the crowd. To the crescendo. I do like that transition. I like that. Oh, heavier, gritty drum. That's fantastic.
Get it right now, get it right now. Stay in time with the rhythm and rhyme. Get around town where the people look good, where the music is loud. Get around town, you need to stand proud. Add your voice to the sound of the crowd. Get it right now, get it right now. Stay in time with the rhythm and rhyme. Get around town where the people look good, where the music is loud. Get around town, you need to stand proud. Add your voice to the sound of the crowd.
I do like those big sweeping synths. And the synth bass underneath it all, it's doing work. It's not standing out. Like forced percussive. Presumably ride out outro here, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, got it. a bit more heavy, percussive, and almost industrial in the last little write out there. But yeah, it's cool. Like it, it sounds like it's about going out and seeing musical acts and being part of, this, not to use new wave. I was gonna say that like independent of the genre, but yeah, the idea of going out and being part of like a movement of, music that's doing things in a different way, and perhaps, having this like fresh sound. So. Yeah, because it was like waiting in line, add your voice to the sound of the crowd, and go around town. And so it felt like that was sort of the theme. Now, it could be playing on multiple levels, and ultimately I could be missing some elements, so do let me know if there's like, something else going on thematically. But that seemed to be the gist of it from the lines that I caught. And yeah, it's interesting. It has a bit more of a, like a glitz to it, like I was saying in the Heaven 17 reaction, but it's still weird to me that, like, so far at least, this sounds closer. And maybe again it's that like this is a Phil Oakey track, and indeed shout out to the people who mentioned, like, I had a slight misunderstanding, and it apparently, like, the women who were brought into the new configuration of the group were, I think, brought in, from what people were saying, more as like, part of the image and part of the like stage presence of the group, and eventually like played some parts vocally that were about having like, a dialogue in the track, but they weren't originally brought in to be like additional singers. So I didn't really understand that, but shout out to those who explained that. But again, because it's Oki only on the vocals, and because it has a synth heavy sound, it sounds closer to Human League, whereas the first few Heaven 17 tracks feel like we've gone in a much different and more like soulful type of direction, like funk soul feeling. So yeah, it's been interesting, the early phase of this tandem journey. So again, shout out to those who've been commenting on the first few reactions of both, like post the split, as well as Han Solo for making the material available. Do let me know what you think of this one. I'll see you next time. Peace.